This podcast contains adult themes and language, and some of the things that we discuss may be disturbing to some listeners. In this podcast, we discuss sexual assault, torture, race, and murder. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to Fruitloops, bienvenidos bitches, and buiti binafi. Thank you for listening. Fruitloops is a podcast about true crimes committed by people of color and the victims that we do not hear or know much about. Contrary to popular belief, not all serial killers are straight cis white dudes.
What?
No, that's right. There are many well-documented cases of serial killers of color, and Fruitloops is a podcast all about them. We will take deep dives into the fascinating lives and crimes of serial killers and true crimes committed by people of color and the victims that the media and entertainment commonly leave out because the news is racist. Allegedly.
And we are Wendy and Beth. She's Wendy. I'm Beth. We're not journalists, investigators, or psychologists. Just a couple of gals interested in true crime. Also, the opinions expressed in this podcast are just that, our opinions. Please send any questions or comments to fruitloopspod@gmail.com or leave us a voicemail at 602-935-6294. And we may feature it on a future episode.
Also, our website is fruitloopspod.com, and we use Fruitloops for all our social media. The footnotes for each episode can be found on our website. Plus, check it out for the different ways that you can support the show and become a Fruit Loops patron. So, Beth, tell the people, who are we talking about today? I mean, what are we talking about today?
Well, we're on a break, so today's episode is going to be a little different. This is an episode that we recorded for our patrons. The date we recorded it is in the title, so the stories are a little dated, and there could be more recent information available now. But anyway, what we do in these episodes is share news stories with each other that are trending on that date, mostly true crime, but anything that we find interesting, and talk about what's going on in the world. These patron-only episodes are a little more conversational, personal, and less edited.
And if you are already a patron at the $5 level, maybe you don't know that these are available to you. Well, they are. Surprise! Just log into Patreon or Podbean, whichever platform you sign up for as a patron, and they will be there in your feed. We hope you enjoy this episode. To get more of these episodes, which we release weekly, become a patron at the $5 and up tier.
Yeah.
Actually, there's no tier above $5, but for some reason, people do it, and we thank you. And with that, let's get on with the show. Extra, read all about it. Fruit Loops has some updates for you, and we are gonna shout it. Our first update is that we are going to CrimeCon 2022.
Yeah.
We haven't announced this to everyone yet, so patrons and Patreons are getting first dibs on this news. And please be sure to use the promo code Fruitloops, and it's good for 10% off standard badges. Now, I don't know if everybody knows this. We don't spell our name like the cereal.
Right,
it's
right.
Fruitloops. So use that if you are interested in going to CrimeCon. What else? Oh, have you heard about? Let's get our murder news, shall we? Have you heard about the shooting in Louisiana? It was a shootout in a home, and now a father is dead, and a young girl's. So the girl's dad is dead, and her boyfriend has been critically shot.
Oh, wow. What happened?
Well, remember in like Boy Meets World or Dawson's Creek, one of those TGIF shows, when the boy would use a ladder to climb up to the girl's room
Oh,
and
yeah.
sneak in and make out with her.
Oh,
Something like
no.
that happened in Zachary, Louisiana.
Shit.
And the dad came upstairs and wasn't happy about it. This father's name is Desmond Cage, and he said, "Young man, get out of my house." And they went downstairs and words were exchanged. And there was a shootout downstairs. So obviously Desmond, the father, who was 34 years old, had a gun, and the 17-year-old boy, who initial reports were not releasing his name because he's a minor,
Right.
justifiably so. But in the source I found today, his name was released. It's Nicholas McWhorter. And he has been charged with second-degree murder, illegal use of a weapon, or dangerous instrumentalities, which is one I've not seen before. But that charge is interesting and nice sounding, isn't it? Nicer sounding than it really is. Instrumentalities and illegal possession of stolen firearms.
So the dad is dead?
The dad is
Oh, my
dead.
God.
So yeah.
So this was not a good dude.
No, I mean,
Dad was justified in telling him to get the hell out of his house.
telling his daughter, "I don't ever want you to see this young man again. He's bad news." And guess
he
what?
was.
He was right. And 34 is a young age,
Dad.
right?
Yeah.
Is a young person, younger than I.
Yeah.
And his daughter was, I think, 13 or 14.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So anyway, once Nicholas McWhorter is released from the hospital because he's in critical condition, he will be arrested on those charges I mentioned earlier. So it's a really sad story.
It really is. Yeah.
And for God's sakes, listen to your parents. Sometimes they do know what they're talking about.
That's
only
fucked
sometimes,
up.
though.
Yeah.
This is a story I wanted to bring to the people only because this epidemic continues. Last week, Taya Ashton, a 20-year-old Black trans woman, was shot and murdered in her own apartment in Suitland, Maryland. Yeah. And that's part of the Washington, D.C. DMV area.
Right.
D. Allen Devonta Prince, 27 years old, has been charged with first-degree murder and second-degree murder, possession of a handgun, nothing about instrumentalities, though, and the use of a firearm in a felony. Price was in a relationship with Ashton. And again, Taya is a Black trans woman. They were in a relationship for about 3 months. Ashton's friends and family held a vigil to honor her at River Terrace Park in D.C., where she grew up, and more than 200 people attended.
Wow.
And again, I bring this up to remind people that Black trans lives do matter, and the epidemic of their murders continue, as well as the attacks on their existence, their mere existence legislatively. So if you are paying attention to anti-trans bills in your area, call that 212 number and complain. And this story is from Translash Media, which I shouted out recently. They have a podcast, and there is more information about the story at the Advocate Mag or the advocate.com website. Oh, in other news, remember the dating game killer?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rodney Alcala is DEAD dead. He
read about that.
Burn in hell, Alcala. He was on the dating game in 1978, and he died at a California Department of Corrections on Saturday, July 24th at 1:43 a.m. And I haven't been able to sleep very much lately, so I saw it live.
Oh, wow.
I didn't see him die. I just saw it pop up on Twitter at like 2 a.m. I watched him die. Okay, I'm sick.
Not really.
I've reported that before. I've not seen an execution. I know there are people who have, but me. So sue me. It's on my bucket list. Anyway, if you recall from episode 33 and 34 of our podcast, we covered this individual. Yep. And he used his camera to lure victims, saying that he was this famous photographer. And he murdered at least 5 people. Yeah. He's suspected of murdering other people in Los Angeles, in the Bay Area, in California, Seattle, New Hampshire, and Arizona. So we are not sad to see him go. No. Rest in piss. Alcala, and good riddance. Oh, this is kind of an older story. Wait, let me see how long I've been yapping.
Oh, not
Only
very
6
long at all.
minutes.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well,
You got plenty of time.
I got plenty of time for more bullshit. So over the 4th of July weekend, Fatima Johnson was missing from her family's festivities and wasn't responding to calls or texts. And Fatima is a 53-year-old Black mother of 6 from South Los Angeles. One of her daughters stopped by her home to check on her and found her wrapped in a blanket.
Oh my
with
God.
her hands tied. She was hogtied. There was
Oh
duct tape
God.
over her mouth. And when her
that'd
family
be
arrived,
awful to
I know.
find your mom like that.
Oh, I know. So they cut her loose, and they called, EMS, emergency services, and she was pronounced dead at the scene.
Oh no.
They determined that she had been strangled. Investigators found some of her personal items were missing, such as jewelry, her cell phone, and her 2008 silver Lexus. Fatima worked at a retirement home and was also working on pursuing her education. She was described as a natural caregiver who would do her best to take care of those around her. She was described as the hood mother to everybody in the neighborhood. And a suspect has not been named yet, but her longtime boyfriend is a person of interest. Now, news reports said that she lived in a quote unquote rough neighborhood, which is a euphemism the news uses for poor, Black, and brown.
Right.
But her murder was not gang related, the news said. Her family believes she deserves the same justice if she had been found in Beverly Hills or Hollywood Hills. Hard agree. There's a $50,000 reward for anyone with information leading to an arrest. And to help the family, you can visit their GoFundMe page, which we will put in the show notes. I think I've done that already. So far, they've raised almost $18,000, and their goal was $20,000.
Wow.
And also, you can anonymously call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS, or the detectives on the case at 323-786-5113 if you know anything.
A straight line to the detectives.
A straight line, straight up to the top. So those phone numbers and links are in the show notes. What else was I going to tell you about? Just a little international flavor here, because again, BIPOC people, LGBTQ people are all over the world. Actually, come to think of it, I feel like this might be the alt-right's problem, is they are afraid of the white race going extinct.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what they're afraid of, but the fear that there aren't going to be any more white people, or they're going to become a minority, which they already are.
They already are. I don't know
say
if any...
they, because even though I'm white, but I don't give a shit.
Nah. You just happen to be white. We talked about this.
Right.
You just happen to be white. You're one of the good ones. But I saw a meme the other day on Instagram, and it said, I'm going to stop using the word minority, which we've tried to do here on the show, and she said I was going to call myself a person of the global majority. Hello.
Yeah, there you go.
Empowering. So that's one of the reasons why I try to bring international news to the Fruitloops fam. So there are protests in Cuba. Have you heard of it?
I have. Yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Because a lot of people don't, and I haven't seen a lot of coverage about it. But basically, Cubans have had it hasta aquí. They are fed up with their government. And maybe in the past 5-10 years, tourism has opened up in Cuba.
Right.
They got the internet, y'all. They're on their smartphones. But recently, because of the pandemic, everyone has been struggling. There's no food. The markets open up and people can't get anything
There's
to eat.
nothing there. Yeah.
They can't get medicines. And protests started to spread. People were pissed at their government.
Right.
News was spreading around the country about these protests with the help of social media. And now the Cuban government has decided to shut down the internet to prohibit the spread of dissent and the story from getting out. Protesters and dissenters have been arrested. They are asking for the internet to be turned on. They're asking for their human rights to be restored by their government. And recently, I believe the Cuban government has been sanctioned by the United States, and there was something else a bunch of countries did. Oh, the U.S. imposed sanctions, but a bunch of countries, like 20 plus countries, got together and said, no, Cuba, not nice. Don't do that. I don't know if that's sanctions or there's a special government-y word. But anyway, everybody is aware.
Special government-y word for tisk tisk.
Yeah, tisks, and that's some fuckery, and please stop. So anyway, and just something to pay attention to, because this is a human rights issue, and we are all human beings. What else? What else do I want to tell you about? Just please. I know that there are people who are not vaccinated. Apparently, 98% of the people dying of COVID are unvaccinated. This is an unvaccinated pandemic. And let's just a friendly reminder, let's do what we can to convince the folks around us who are sick and tired of shutdowns and sick and tired of masks and sick of people dying to get vaccinated.
Yes.
And let's just be nice about it, because shaming them apparently isn't working. So, what do you got, Beth? There was one dude I saw on the news, and he just got off a ventilator, and he said, "And I'm not gonna get the vaccine because I don't want it shoved down my throat like that. Don't tread on me attitude."
Oh my God!
I don't understand.
I don't know where he's coming from.
But
okay.
But we're just gonna keep trying to convince people, right? So he obviously won't be convinced, but there are others. There are people out there, and people all over the world who want to get vaccinated. And I think an important thing to point out is, everybody's talking about the unvaccinated because people like they're a monolith, and they're not. It's not all Trump supporters. It's not all "don't tread on me" dudes who just got off a ventilator. It's also people who don't have access, to the vaccines and that kind of stuff. So
as a country, we're very lucky that we have a vaccine available to us.
Yes, absolutely. And a lot of people are still scared about getting the vaccine, with the news about Johnson & Johnson causes Guillain-Barré. And there's information out there, and there's people who are willing to answer your questions and ease your fears if you are afraid. There's a way through this, and part of it is, I think, getting the right information to the people who need it. So anyway, what do you got, Beth?
Well, on that note, I was going to talk about a new study on the Pfizer vaccine.
Oh, what is it?
It says that 2 doses of the Pfizer COVID vaccine are 88% effective against the Delta variant.
Whoa.
I think it's similar with Moderna.
88%, you say?
Right. 88%.
I mean, wow.
Yeah,
that's
a lot.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Give me another.
Also, both vaccines, Moderna and Pfizer, are far less effective after only 1 dose. So around 30%. So make sure you get both doses.
Right.
Get both of them. And also, the Biden administration officials are considering stricter mask wearing guidance. So because this would protect unvaccinated people who, as you mentioned, now make up almost all COVID-19 hospitalizations and deaths.
Yeah.
And the Delta variant is very contagious, and it's what's causing spikes in COVID-19 cases across the country. So if you don't want to wear masks anymore, I suggest you get vaccinated. That's all.
Yeah. I don't mind the masks, but my favorite part of all of this, I don't have to shake another hand as long as I live.
My favorite part is the 6 foot
I'm
distancing.
so happy. Right? It's the little
Get off
things.
my ass while I'm in line at the grocery store.
Right? Am I right? So yeah, silver lining.
Yeah.
Woo, what else do you got, Beth? That is good news, though.
Yeah, it is good news. Sorry, I just coughed on my tea.
Oh, it's okay.
I just inhaled it.
Oh, ooh.
It's okay.
Is it Corona? Is it the Delta? By the way, have you heard about another strain called the Lambda strain?
No.
I don't know
Is
much
that
about it.
another one that's
It's another
coming
one.
out? Yeah.
Man, these viruses, when they go unchecked, crazy
Yeah,
things happen.
That's
The
another
viruses be
thing.
virusing and mutating this shit.
Yeah, that's another reason to get vaccinated because as it runs through all these people, it mutates. So we get all these variants. So the more people that get vaccinated, the less we'll get of those. So,
Right.
Yeah. So did you hear about the Texas firefighter who was found dead in Cancun?
No. From having too much fun?
Well, you tell me.
Okay.
He was on vacation to celebrate his 10th wedding anniversary.
Okay.
Elijah Snow was his name, 35.
Okay.
He became trapped as he tried to, or what they say, the authorities say, he tried to enter the window of a bathroom at a resort that was not the one he was staying at.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mexican officials insist that there are no signs of foul play. Family members suspect that he may have been killed after a possible kidnapping. The couple were staying at an all-inclusive resort in Cancun. On the
Okay.
night of his death, Elijah Snow and his wife Jamie had been drinking together at the bar of the resort where they were staying.
Okay.
Jamie decided to go back to their room while he remained behind, but the wife woke up in the middle of the night at 4 a.m. and realized he wasn't there and got concerned.
Okay.
Authorities with Quintana Roo State Attorney General's office said in a statement that Snow died of mechanical asphyxiation due to thoracic abdominal compression.
Okay.
The office said Snow was trapped when trying to enter a bathroom window and could not place his feet on the ground, giving him no support point to release himself from the window.
Oh, boy. Okay. Okay.
Quote, the circumstances in which the events occurred are being investigated, unquote, officials wrote in a social media post.
Okay.
Adding to the confusion, Snow's wife, Jamie Snow, was told that her husband had died after falling over a wall while at the Cancun resort where they were staying.
Okay.
And according to a news article, a local attorney managed to get some photos of the crime scene that
Ooh.
suggested that Snow was, in fact, beaten to death.
Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa.
So this is kind of a crazy story and something to keep your eyes out for.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's 3 completely
Different stories. Yeah.
stories. Wow, and who's right? I wonder if the language barrier plays any part in this sort of misinformation, disinformation telephone game?
I mean, those are completely different stories.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. Wow, that is fascinating. Well, thank you for bringing it here. I will keep my eyes closed. I mean, open. I'm not going to keep my eyes closed.
I'm going to sleep now.
Keep them peeled. I'm going to keep them peeled and pay attention in case I see more about this. Yes.
Well, I got some good news for you.
Oh, please tell.
Minnesota will soon launch what appears to be the nation's first state-level panel to address the disproportionately high rates of violence against Black women.
Whoa.
The Task Force on Missing and Murdered African American Women, approved as part of a public safety budget bill, will be modeled after the state's recent work on missing and murdered Indigenous women.
Oh my God, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
A 12-person panel made up of representatives from the courts, law enforcement, and victims advocacy groups will come up with policy recommendations to address the issue by December 2022. So it's going to be a while yet, but they're going in the right direction.
It's something. Yeah. It's something. Yeah. Wow. That is really, what is the state? And I'm wondering when I should move there. Minnesota. Okay.
Minnesota.
Never mind.
Oh, yeah, you betcha.
Oofta.
Oofta. Yeah.
No. I'm good, but you love to see it. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I hope other states take note.
Yes. Eventually, I think they will. Yeah.
Someday, someday there will be no inequality. But I won't be alive to see it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So I got a story that's based out of Florida.
Ooh, watch out for Florida man.
Yeah. Well, this Florida man was nice.
Oh, okay.
This past Monday, a lawn worker identified only as Tony was walking to work in a Palm Beach County community when he saw a neighbor having a seizure inside of his vehicle.
Whoa.
And immediately rushed to help him, going as far as trying to stop the moving car with his own hands.
Whoa.
I think he like grabbed the bumper and was like trying to stop it because it was going into a neighbor's lawn.
Oh my God. Whoa.
Yeah. So the car finally stopped on the neighbor's lawn, but the driver was still in terrible shape inside the locked vehicle. Tony screamed and begged the neighbors to help him, but the homeowners were apparently more worried about their grass. They yelled at them to get off our lawn and get the man out of here, have him die somewhere else.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my fucking God. Was it those... oh my God.
I imagine those guys, the husband and wife lawyer team with the guns.
Yes, with the guns.
Yeah.
Was it them?
I bet it was them.
I knew it. I thought we'd seen the last of them, but here they are again.
Here they are again.
God damn it.
So Tony recognized the driver from the neighborhood, ran to his home and alerted his wife. And emergency workers arrived on the scene and treated the driver, and everybody's okay. But
wow,
I thought that was an interesting story.
What a story!
Shout out to Tony, and not shout out to
those neighbors. Yeah, hip hop air horns for Tony.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I saw a similar video on social media, and I thought that's what you were talking about. There was a man on the freeway who had a seizure in his vehicle.
Oh, wow.
And the vehicle is locked, right? When you put it in drive, everything locks.
Locked up.
And people were trying to bust the glass windows. I didn't stay long enough to see what happened in the end, but thoughts and prayers to people having seizures in their cars. And also shout out to Good Samaritans.
Yes,
right?
Definitely. Yeah.
Wow.
So I have a new addition to Don't Do That.
Ooh, gotta know. Gotta find out what to avoid. Please tell us.
This one is not quite so funny.
Oh, okay.
So a couple who used a smoke bomb at a gender reveal ceremony and sparked Southern California's El Dorado wildfire, which killed a firefighter last year.
Oh, yeah.
They've been charged with involuntary manslaughter and 29 other crimes.
No frickin' way.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Refugio Manuel Jimenez Jr. and Angela Renee Jimenez pleaded not guilty.
Okay.
And a judge released them on their own recognizance, despite prosecutors' request that they each be held on $50,000 bail.
Well, I mean, don't they have a baby at home? I mean, it doesn't do it doesn't do anybody any good to break up the family, but certainly punishment is in order.
I think it might be a little too much, though. And I wonder if racism has anything to do with it, because
did somebody say racism? Oh, because they're Latinx. Wait a minute.
Put on the brakes.
Wait a minute.
I haven't heard it about any white people, even though there's been like tons of things that
this whole gender reveal thing is white people's
stuff.
Fault.
Yeah.
It's colonization's fault, really. That's where we get this whole this whole binary bullshit. You're either a boy or a girl, and the doctor makes the decision when you're born. Nobody else. And we've created this sick culture around identifying what your baby is going to use to pee with.
Right.
And and again, you're right. White people are not getting punished for any of this. They're going viral, but they're not getting punished.
Yeah.
Wow.
And, my don't do that is don't do gender reveal ceremonies. They're just stupid.
Agreed.
Especially these crazy ones where, there's bombs and things that explode and anything that can set things on fire. Just don't do that.
Right. Don't do that. Now, you said It was a smoke bomb?
Yeah, a smoke bomb.
And where does one even buy a smoke
I have
bomb?
no
Never
idea.
seen it at the grocery store
Yeah.
or Harbor Freight.
Maybe at those,
wouldn't even know where to begin.
They sell those fireworks at stands.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe during 4th of July, stuff like that. Maybe something like that. I don't know. I don't think California does those, though. I don't think they're legal in California, are they?
Well, it's a drought, so nobody's burning anything. You can't even water your lawn. So
yeah.
I don't know. That's a good question. That's a good question. But I mean, do we know, like, is there a trial date for the Jimenezes?
Not yet that I saw, but the charges included 1 felony count of involuntary manslaughter, 3 felony counts of recklessly causing a fire with great bodily injury, 4 felony counts of recklessly causing a fire to inhabited structures, and 22 misdemeanor counts of recklessly causing fire to property. And the couple could face sentences extending from the lower teens to low 20s of years if found guilty on all charges, which I think is excessive. I mean,
very much.
Yeah, so. This El Dorado fire was horrible. I mean, and it's such a stupid way to start a fire with a gender reveal ceremony.
Agreed. Yeah.
But
agreed.
They didn't plan for that to happen. Yeah. They were just, made a stupid decision. So I think it's way, way too much. And
I agree. Well, I was just going to say, I think sometimes in white American society, it's easier to make examples out of people who are not white.
Right. And I think that's exactly what's going on here. Yeah.
That's my 2 cents, but I'm not the boss of anything. So we will see what happens. But yeah, don't do those anymore because they're dangerous and they're fucked up. They're fucked up.
Why do we have to have all this bullshit?
Well, yeah, again, it's genitalia used for the purposes of going to the bathroom. It's meaningless.
Yeah.
When you really get down to it. What if your child is like, I'm a they, them? You throw away the gender reveal footage. Like, it is meaningless. We should wait until it further perpetuates this binary that doesn't really exist or serve anybody, doesn't serve, people being able to live their authentic selves. So,
right.
Well, I won't be doing that. And thank you, Beth.
And that's all I got.
Well, that's the news. Look alive, y'all. It's crazy out there. Get your vaccines. Well, that's it, folks. Where can the people find us, Beth?
Our website is fruitloopspod.com. Our Facebook page is Fruit Loops Pod, and our discussion group is Fruit Loops Pod Discussion on Facebook. We are also on Twitter and Instagram at Fruit Loops Pod, and links to our sources will be in our footnotes. If you want to support the show, you can send us a donation on the Cash App. Just Google Fruit Loops Pod Cash App, or you can become a monthly patron through Podbean. This will help us pay for things like our website and pod hosting. There's no minimum and no commitment. Even $1 would help. And as always, we have merch for sale on our website.
That's right. Now, this is a weekly podcast and new episodes drop every Thursday. So until next time, look alive, y'all. It's crazy out there.